Here are the result of my layouting prototype. You can see a bunch of nodes, red ones, blue ones, green ones, and you can see connections, the black ones, the blue ones, gray ones, and the light gray ones here. And the layout you see here is actually not something that's explicitly calculated, but it is the result of a numerical simulation. Point is that each of those nodes is basically a particle with an electric negative charge, so they repel each other, and the connections act as springs, so they pull. And the layout you can see here kind of calculates itself by just running the simulation. I can illustrate that by changing some of the properties. For example, I can increase the charge of the green ones. Let's put them to 3, and that makes them go away further because they repel more force that repels, and of course the spring forces didn't change, so that means they go further away. So let's go back here. You can also, of course, change the forces of the springs. Let's change this one. See, now the black spring force is increased, so they are closer. You can, of course, also do the opposite, then they go further away. You can you can play with these things, and that changes the layout to make it suitable for whatever you want to do. Now, you can also change some of the visualizations. For example, you can say, don't show me the green ones. They're still there physically, they're still calculated, but they're not shown, right? I can basically remove all the things. And then what you can also do is you can actually remove the particles. So let's say I remove the black particles. Sorry, I removed the border, that's the wrong one. I remove those particles, then of course now the layout changes because those particles and the connections between them are completely missing, right? Bring them back. You can also remove certain connections, like let's say this one, then those things move away. And by the way, you'll notice that they don't escape outside a certain boundary. The gray dots here are negative charges that have a fixed position, so they're not repelled. Well, they do have forces between those, all of them, but they can't go away. If I remove the border, then everything leaves, but I don't want to do this. So right, I can just do things like that. It's actually quite nice. And then I can reconnect things if I want to. Right, so and the layout is kind of automatically relatively good. It's not necessarily perfect. Here's a little bit too much stuff. I can try to shuffle and optimize it a bit, but there isn't too much going on. So maybe that's too much connections. I might want to get rid of a certain kind, and then things already get better. Or just say, look at things like this, and then I mean, the whole thing is that this kind of visualization is intended to be played with. It's not something for printing. It's for actually interactively exploring things. Anyway, so